Alright, YouTube and Facebook are on, and welcome everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So we're going to begin our service on page 6 of our Siddur Reins with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShairei, Malachei El Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei El Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barhuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei El Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei El Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 7, I'd like to invite Pam up to light our Shabbos candles. Are you okay to put them into their the candle holders? They're right underneath there. I can do it if not. It's okay.
Yeah, no,
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Come, let us welcome Shabbat.
May His radiance illuminate our hearts.
Light is the symbol of the divine.
The eternal is my light and my salvation.
Light is the symbol of the divine within us.
The human spirit is the light of the eternal.
Light is the symbol of the divine law.
For the mitzvah is a lamp and the Torah alike.
Light is the symbol of Israel's mission.
I, the eternal, have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahavlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat joy.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat peace.
Amen.
May the Eternal bless us with Shabbat holiness.
Amen. Shkoyach. Shkoyach. Page 9, we're going to turn to Lachado D, page 9. Lechadoi di likra kala yeredai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nikalela lechadoi di likra kala yeredai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nikalela shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad. Hishmianu el hanuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem multiferet v'letihila, Lechadoi di likra kala yeredai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nikalela lechadoi di likra kala yeredai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nikavela likrat Shabbat lechu enecha ki hi mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesuka sof ma'asa b'matra tehila lechadoi di likrat kala yeredai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nikavela lechadoi di likra kala yeredai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nikavela hi ori kiva orech kumi ori shir daveri kavod Adonai alai nigila lechadoi di likra kala yeredai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nikavela lechadoi di likra kala yeredai 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 b'nei Shabbat. Nekabela. Then we rise and face the entrance or the exit of our synagogue as we welcome in the Shabbos bride. Boi v'shalom atzeret bala gam b'simcha u'b'tzola toch emune am sigula boi kala lechai di likra kala yeredai p'nei Shabbat Nekabela lechai di likra kala yeredai p'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Remain standing for the Hatzi Kaddish on page 11. Yudgadal v'yudgadal shemei rabba V'yalmadi brachirutei v'yamnich malchutei B'chayechon uv'yoymechon uv'hayetecho Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uv'izman kariv V'yameru amen Yahei shmei rabba mivorach Le'olam me'omei almaya Yisparach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitramad v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shamei l'kudusha b'rechu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata Tushvecha davanechem atadad miran v'alma v'yameru amen. We now turn to page 12 for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Turn to page 13 of our Sidurins. The italicized text will join together. Eternal God, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of the earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you and endow our fleeting days with abiding mirth. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who brings on the evening. Page 14 at the bottom of the page will join together for the translation for Avat Olam. With eternal love you've loved your people, the house of Israel. Torah and commandments, statutes and judgments you've taught us. Therefore, O eternal our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will discuss your statutes and rejoice in the words of your Torah and your commandments forever. For they are our lives and they lengthen our days, and we will meditate upon them day and night. May you never remove your love from us forever and ever. Blessed are you, O Eternal, who loves God's people, Israel. Page 13 will join together for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. You may be seated. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatan levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'letecha b'derech Ushachtecha u'kumecha U'shartam ne'ot al yadecha Ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha U'ktatam al mizuzot beitecha U'visharecha Leman tizkeru v'asitem eko mizotai Ve'item kidoshim lelolechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Chotzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 17 will join together for the responsive reading. Eternal truth is that you are alone our God, and there is none else.
For the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares.
Let them beat their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, let them study war no more.
You shall not hate another in your heart. You shall love your neighbor as yourself.
Let the stranger be in your midst to you as the native, for you are once strangers in the land of Egypt.
And as the all which we went forth to freedom, so that all be free to sing with joy.
Page 18 will join together for Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha ba'alim Adonai, Mi Chamocha nezar v'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei feleh. Malchutecha ra'u banecha bokeyam lifnei Moshe, Ze Eli anu v'yamru, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed, V'ne'emar ki farah Adonai et Yaakov, Ulo miyad hazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 19, we will join together for the responsive reading as well. Cause us, O eternal our God, to lie down in peace and to awaken us each morning to renewed life with strength. Spread over us the holy shelter of your peace.
Help us to order our lives by your counsel, and lead us in the paths of righteousness. Be a shield about us, protecting us from hate and war, from pestilence and sorrow.
Curb also within us the inclination to do evil, and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Guard our going out and our coming into life with peace from this time forth, forever.
Blessed are you, O eternal, whose holy shelter of peace is spread over us, over all God's people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Page 20 will join together for Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asod et ha-Shabbat le'dor et ha-merit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asod et ha-Shabbat le'dor et ha-merit olam. B'nei u'ben b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. B'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asod et ha-Shabbat le'dor et ha-merit olam. Ki shesh yamim asa Adonai, Asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asod et ha-Shabbat le'dor et ha-merit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, La'asod et ha-Shabbat le'dor et ha-merit olam. We now rise for the Amidah prayer on page 21. Tefillah begins on page 21. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imateinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Haseavo V'Imachot, Umevi Geula Lifnei V'Nechem Leman Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Maken, Baruch atah Adonai Magin Avraham Le'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Le'Hoshia Mashivo Ruach Umarid HaGashem Mekakel Hayim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Soimech Noflim Berofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Baal Giburot Umido Melach Melech Memid Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua B'ne'eman Atah Lehahayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Kadosh V'Shim HaKadosh V'Koshim B'chol Yom Yahadu Chasela Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We daven silently until page 29, where we'll join together for Oseh Shalom. Join together on page 29 for Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom B'Romav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, V'imru, Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'yamaru, Amen. So in last week's Torah portion, we read about Jacob and Esau's reconciliation for their relationship and the epic struggle that Jacob would have with wrestling with an angel. We learned about how artists have depicted this scene in their artwork from antiquity to the modern era. And in this week's Torah portion, we enter into Parshat Vayeshev. And in Parshat Vayeshev, we read about Jacob and his children in further detail. Recall a few readings ago, Jacob had 12 sons, whose seed would eventually bear the 12 tribes of Israel. But in this week's Torah reading, Jacob settles in Hebron with his 12 sons, and his favorite is a 17-year-old boy named Joseph. And his brothers, they are jealous of his preferential treatment that he receives from his father, such as Jacob receiving a precious many-colored coat. Joseph relates to his brothers two of his dreams that he has. They foretell that he is destitute to rule over them, and it will increase their envy and hatred and malice against him. Two of Joseph's brothers, Simeon and Levi, they plot to kill him. However, Reuben suggests that they should throw him instead into a pit, instead intending to come back later to save him. While Joseph is in the pit, Judah sells him to a band of passing Ishmaelites, and the brothers dip Joseph's special coat in goat's blood and show it to their father, leading the father to believe that wild beasts had devoured his most beloved son. Joseph is then taken to Egypt and sold to Potiphar, the minister in charge of Pharaoh's slaughterhouse. Potiphar's wife desires the handsome and charismatic lad, and when Joseph rejects her advances, she tells her husband that the Hebrew slave tried to force himself upon her, and that has Joseph thrown into prison. There, Joseph gains the trust and admiration of the jailers who appoint him to a position of authority in the prison's administration. And in prison, Joseph meets Pharaoh's chief butler and chief baker, both who are incarcerated for offending their royal master. Both have disturbing dreams, which Joseph interprets. He tells them that in 3 days the butler will be released and the baker will be hanged. Joseph asks the butler to intercede on behalf with Pharaoh, and Joseph's predictions are fulfilled, but the butler forgets all about Joseph and does nothing for him. And that reading brings us to today. Once again, we're returning to the theme of dreams in this week's Torah portion. And dreams, as we know, they have a significance in Judaism. The Talmud, as we discussed earlier, has a statement that is prolific. It states that an uninterpreted dream is the equivalent to an unread letter. So imagine if Joseph did not interpret his dream, or if we did not invest meaning into the mix of chaos and confusion of our lives. Life would be an existence of slavery. Dreams depart from reality, but they tell us something important about our lives and ourselves. Often the earliest stories from our Torah, they seem remarkably similar to a dream. Events in the earliest rendition of our Torah seem to depart so far from reality that they seem more dreamlike in their description of events than real. The Great Flood, for instance, Noah's Ark, the Tower of Babel, they all seem too fantastic to be true from our imagination. But what is the truth of these stories? Are these documented events? Or is there hidden meaning and messages in these stories? I believe our dreams, as well as these stories, lead us to a moral judgment and guide us in important ways of our lives. Joseph had that ability, though, and in some ways, he was our first learned sage for that reason. He was our first rabbi. He found meaning in otherworldly confusion in his existence. Painful experiences, including slavery in Egypt, require people to grasp at something for meaning and guidance in life. And Joseph's dreams and his interpretation of them had that ability. They foretold of our triumphant return to Israel after bondage of slavery. They gave us hope during a moment of our history of despair. The case in point that demonstrates this ability in our history is the upcoming holiday of Hanukkah. Here we celebrate a miracle, the miracle of oil lasting despite a failing war and a supply chain meltdown. And today, it often may feel as though we're still once again in the throes of our history yet again. We are again having a national supply chain meltdown, and in some ways the battle of COVID is a war of sorts. Again, as in antiquity, we need a miracle to help guide us forward. Remember, just over a little bit of a year ago, there was a shortage of COVID vaccines and simple items such as toilet paper, and that was a horrifying moment for many of us. And today we're facing new challenges to our supply chain and our ability to serve social services to all people. Yet the story of Hanukkah illuminates our hope for the months ahead of us. And may the celebration in the next few days, the Festival of Lights of Hanukkah, be a guide for us. May we find comfort in the miracles of our ancestors and live always in their honor. May we relive the miracles of our forefathers and foremothers in this week's Torah portion and ahead into this upcoming season. Can you hear that son? May it be God's will. Amen. Just a moment, we'll be standing for the Misha Berach prayer. The Misha Berach prayer may be found at the back of our Siddurim. I'm going to be reading the names that have been provided to me from our Misha Berach list. If there are any additional names anyone would like to have added to the Misha Berach list for a healing of mind, body, and or of spirit, please share with us the names of your loved ones so that we can pray for a healing of their mind, body, and or of spirit. Today's Misha Berach list includes the following names: Evan Mitchell Wadika, Suya Margalit, Ali Souza, Suzanne Wadika, Ruth Dowse, Jerry Dowse, Vicky Hyatt, Bill Natras, Miriam Mendel Ben Shira, Nachman Ben Malka, Shlomo Leibit Ben Malka, Alan Lewis, Ellen Yokelson, Jerry Yokelson, Russ Pineri, Jeffrey Stein, Jeffrey Koffler, Aaron Evers, Claudia Schafter, Courtney Zabatek, Linda Bloom, Elaine Blitz, Linda Wilson, Rhoda Jacobs, Becky Bono, Linda Gotev, Sylvia Stern, Myra Levis, Evie Schneider, Dr. Sharon Anita Wander, Sonia Richmond, Susan Skobernik, Lee Benner, Fran Salowitz, Marge Estrin, Yisrael Reuven Ben Devorah Elka, Stuart Kaufman, Asher Ephraim, Bob Salowitz, Yvette Zamos, and Michael Berkowitz. Are there any additional names anyone would like to add to our Misha Berach list?
Gail Wazlowski.
Gail Wazowski. Wazlowski. Thank you.
Steve and Carol Lichtenstein.
Steve and Carol Lichtenstein.
Corinne Liz.
Karen Liz.
And Corky Hockenberry.
Corky Hockenberry. Any additional names? Okay. The words to the Misha Berach prayer may be found in the back of our Siddurim. We'll rise as the ark is being opened. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBrecha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBrecha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We'll remain standing for the Aleinu on page 30 of our Sidurims. Once again, the Aleinu may be found on page 30 of our Sidurims. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula le'yotzeh breshit, shelo atzanu k'giyeh aratzot, velo samanu kimishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam kalkenu kachem, v'goralenu kichol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachabim u'nodim, lifnei melech malchei chamnachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, she'unotei shamayim ve'yosei haaretz, u'moshev yekaro b'shamayim mima'al, Ushchinatu zo begofei meroimim, Hu Eloheinu ein od, Emet Malkeinu echad zulato, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והושבות אל אביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ויעל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. Page 31 will join together in the English. We therefore hope in you, O eternal our God, soon to behold the splendor of your might. Then will false gods vanish from the earth, and the idols will be utterly cut off to heal the world through the sovereignty of the Almighty. Then will all acclaim you as their God, and forsaking evil turn to you alone. Let all who dwell on earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend, and every tongue swear loyalty before you, O eternal our God. Let them humble themselves. To your glorious name, let them give honor. Let all accept the yoke of your dominion, that you may rule over them soon and forever. For the dominion is yours, and you will rule in glory, as it is written, the eternal will reign forever and ever. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You may be seated. In just a moment, I'll be reciting the names from our Yurtzeit list, as well as members of our community who have recently passed. If there are any additional names anyone would like to have added to our list after the names have been read aloud, please share with us the names of your loved ones so that we can all as one community pray for the elevation of their neshama to Shemayim, the heavens above. Our Yurtzeit list for today include the following names: Irving Schwern, Stephanie Kaplan, Hyman Bodak, Lillian Rashkel, Daniel Rychek, Eva Saracen, Naomi Fisher, Howard Jacobs, Jesse Schuster, Sylvia Davidoff, Arthur Lewis, Kate Salowitz, Elise Fleisig, Philip Bolstein, Alan Axelrod, Howard Friedman, Mildred Samotin, Irving Ginsberg, Myron Tenenbaum, Jose Katz, Benjamin Saracen. Recently passed from our community are the following names: Philip Bolstein, Stanley Tobe, Steve Goldblum, Jacob George Tobel, Peter Lizama, Stan Perlman, David Schneider, Raphael Marcus, Florence Schneider, Sylvia Tenenbaum, Florence Guttmacher, Philip Moret, Bruce Fleischig. Are there any additional names anyone is observing a Yurtzeit for here today or in the period of Shoshimav?
Amanda Newman, Ben Rodriguez, Fred Kellogg, Larry Bershad, Arnold Polinsky, yes, Judy Merman, MacDonald Smith.
Are there any additional names anyone is observing a Yurtzeit for or in the period of Shoshimav? No. The words to the Mourner's Kaddish may be found on page 33. If it is your custom, please rise. The Mourner's Kaddish again is on page 33. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'alma tivrach hirutei v'yamnich malchutei v'chayechon u'yonechon u'chayei techol beis Yisrael v'agala u'yizman kariv v'imru amen Yahei shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam olamei alamaya Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitraman v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shanei v'kurusha b'reichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran v'alma v'imru amen Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom b'ramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved, and let us say Amen. You may be seated. I'd like to invite up Marilyn for some quick. Oh, it's not going to be Marilyn. All right. Liz, it's going to be you today. It's going to be Liz. No, I'm calling up Liz now. It's going to be Liz today. Unless you're too afraid, in which case you can just make a paper plane and throw it up here, and I'll read it.
When you feel better.
Yeah, when I feel better.
Not so close.
And some coke over here. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos.
Saturday, December 17th, Torah study and worship, virtual and in person. Torah study at 9:30, worship at 10:15. Helmeta Menorah lighting with Rabbi Poland, Sunday, December 18th at 4:30, front lawn of Borough Hall. Sisterhood Hanukkah party, Tuesday, December 20th at 6:30, potluck dairy dinner. More information on weekly email. Hanukkah service and dinner Friday, December 23rd, service at 6:30, sing along with Avi. Kosher Chinese dinner to follow, RSVP by December 18th. More information on weekly email. Simcha Shabbat, January 6th and 7th. Havdalah and game night, January 7th. Sabrina Singer's Bach Mitzvah project is birthday cake license. Donate to Old Bridge Food Pantry. More information on weekly email on how you can help. Jewish Life Publication is an online magazine, and we have a write-up on page 38. Thank you.
Once again, if you can make it to the menorah lighting, that's going to be in Helmeta. There's going to be soup banios. There's going to be donuts. It's going to be a wonderful occasion, so please come out for that. And as well, we have upcoming Shabbos to come. We're going to have a beautiful celebration of Chinese food. It's going to be really wonderful, so please come on out. We've got a lot of people already signed up for it. I think that deadline is it this weekend? 18?
Sunday, you can sign up for dinner, but you can come for service, whether you come.
Anyway, everyone's welcome to come to services, of course, but the Chinese food sign-up is going to be on the 18th. So come for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. So. And there'll be presents, too. At least there'll be for Micah. All right. We're now going to turn to page 34 of our Siddur Readings for Adon Olam, our concluding prayer. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nira Li'et Nasa V'Chezo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nigra V'Yachat Rei Kilot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nara V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yiyah V'Tzif Ara V'hu Echad V'Ein Sheni Lehamshilo Lehachbira B'li Reshit B'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz V'Hamizra V'hu Eli V'Chaya Goali V'tzor Chevli V'Yesora V'hu Nisi Umanosli Menat Kosi B'yom Ekra B'Ya'ado Akid Ruchi V'Yetz Ishan V'Ya'ira V'Im Ruchi Geviyati Adonai Li V'Lo Ira. Good Shabbos, everyone. Good Shabbos, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Once again, sorry, I'm a little bit lower energy because of the recovery from bronchitis, but Alavai, it's going to be good soon with our Hanukkah celebrations, and I'll be back to 100%. So, who would like to do our brachas? Okay, Stephen's going to be there. All right.
Chicken noodle soup.
Chicken noodle soup, Jewish penicillin.